Summing up Insurgent in a word, probably say decent. Insurgent is the sequel to Divergent, and it picks up with our main characters on the run from the authorities heading with the Amity faction, whereupon things take off. So I'm going to be honest, I judged Insurgent from its predecessor Divergent, because I was not a fan of that movie. It had no original thoughts in its head. Pretty much everything it did had been done in either Harry Potter or Hunger Games. With Insurgent, I was kind of pleasantly surprised. I mean, it didn't wow me, it didn't set my mind on fire, but you know, it was actually okay. So what I did like about it is it takes its own sort of direction. It's not just a carbon copy of something else we've seen like Divergent was, and it's not the same as the first movie. It's a much more organic, big film that takes its own story and plays with it, which is a good thing. And there's some solid action in it. It's fun. It's never boring, which is good because boring is the worst thing a film can be. And there's certain scenes with the simulator, if you've seen the films, that are actually quite fun because it's quite enjoyable to like look at it and be like, oh, is this in the sim? Is this not? Oh, and it's rewarding to be like, yes, I called that. So that's enjoyable. In terms of the characters that I liked, Triss is doing some interesting stuff. She's having difficulties with all the destruction she's caused with her parents dying. Spoiler warning for a movie that came out 2 years ago. And she's like having nightmares and has to confront that. And that's pretty interesting. And Miles Teller plays a guy called Peter, who's actually quite a lot of fun because Miles Teller's just a great actor and he's just having fun with it. The guy's underdeveloped and two-dimensional, like we don't get any motivations for whatever he does, but he's enjoyable to watch, and when he's on screen it's always amusing. But in terms of the bad, the world building is where this film really breaks down. It's sloppy, it just doesn't really create a world around you because there's too much going on, there's too many plot points it's trying to nail, and the world just kind of doesn't feel there. The characters around the main trio all just feel sort of bland and arbitrary. Even within the main trio, like for Triss's boyfriend, it's just annoying and pointless. He's just the protective boyfriend and he's not enjoyable to watch. The guy playing him doesn't really seem to be trying. There's genuinely times where you're trying to pick up what he says because you can't hear him, it's that lazy. And you've seen the guy before, he's not interesting, he's just there to punch people every now and again and be kind of hot. And being a guy, that doesn't do it for me. The villain as well, Janine, I think your name is, it was something like that. It's just bland. I mean, you've seen it before. They just stand there stoically and say sort of menacing things in a sort of menacing voice, and you're supposed to be menaced, but you're not because you've just seen so much better villains in other movies. And there's a lot of angst in this film, mainly from the main character, but at least that's kind of pulled off a lot. But when it tries to be smart and cover all these bases of thinking and theme, and you're just not buying it. It's all kind of hollow. You're not really looking at it and going, oh, that's clever. There's no real throughput to it. It's just kind of there to make it seem whole.
Food for thought.
Insurgent is like one of those bacon potato salads, except with kind of undercooked potato. So like, I don't know if you've ever had one, but I have. And you have to like wade through the potato and you find the bacon, you're like, oh, that's cool. But at the end of the day, you're going through undercooked potato covered in stuff. And it's not horrible, but it's just bland and boring. But then every now and again you get a bit of bacon and you're like, woohoo, bacon! Because bacon's great. So to sum up, you could do it a lot worse than Insurgent if you're going to see a movie or you have 2 hours to kill and it's just playing on the TV, but it's really not something to rush out and see. So Insurgent, have you seen it? What did you think? Feel free to let me know. Until next time guys, please like, subscribe, enjoy your lives!